A glowing yellow eye snaps open in the pitch-black darkness, and the owner of the eye is immediately confused because he doesn't know why it is so dark or where the light switch is. He wonders if he fell asleep and if it is still nighttime, but he feels like it is way too dark for that, so he starts asking whose room he is in. The eye gets smaller as he starts to panic, wondering if this is his room and struggling to remember where his room even is. Suddenly, a shell cracks open to reveal a forest, and a status screen pops up in his vision identifying him as a dragon egg. He is completely baffled by the text in front of him, questioning if it is a line or a light before realizing he is in the woods. He tries to move but finds that he can't, which makes him freak out and demand to know what the hell is going on. He reads the status screen that lists his species as dragon egg and shows his status as normal, along with categories for attack, defense, magic, and agility. He notices he has special skills called Eggshell and Divine Voice, as well as a resistance skill called Physical Resistance and a normal skill called Roll. The status screen tells him that his stat window has been opened and explains that it displays all his current abilities with numerical values so he can understand them easily. He asks the air if someone is talking to him, and the voice explains that explanations of stats and items are provided by the skill Divine Voice Level 1. The voice continues to explain that it might alert him when his stats have changed, so he asks if this is a game. The Divine Voice immediately shuts him down by stating it cannot provide explanations of that nature at Level 1. He gets annoyed and asks if it will give him answers if he levels up, but then he wonders who he is even talking to. He demands to know who the voice is and where he is, but the Divine Voice repeats the exact same phrase about not being able to explain that at Level 1. He gets frustrated by the repetitive answer and yells at the voice to quit saying that. He decides to try moving and starts rolling through the forest while screaming. He falls from a tree, which makes him panic, and he hits the ground. He wonders if he just fell from a tree and immediately receives a notification that he has obtained the falling resistance skill. He notices his HP went down and then gets another notification that he has obtained the Klutz title. He gets angry and feels like the system is making fun of him. He keeps rolling and accidentally goes off a cliff, nearly falling into the water below. He manages to stop just in time behind some rocks and freaks out about nearly taking a plunge. He looks out at the water and sees his reflection, which stops him cold because he realizes he's actually an egg. He screams in total confusion as he looks at the river and the sunset, unable to make sense of why he is an egg. The voice of God chimes in to explain that a dragon egg is an F-rank monster and the offspring of a dragon. It tells him that he will die if his shell is broken, which makes him feel powerless. The voice adds that he has low intelligence due to an underdeveloped brain and that rolling is all he can do. He gets offended and yells back that his brain works fine. The voice continues, explaining that while he can become a fearsome dragon with age, the egg is considered a gourmet delicacy. He is shocked to hear he is food. The voice explains that adventurers usually destroy dragon eggs but avoid them if the parents are nearby. He rolls down a hill while screaming that he is confused and doesn't know what adventurers or dragons are. He crashes through a tree, leaving a cartoonish hole, and gets a notification that his roll skill has leveled up to 2. He is surprised he even had a level 1 but figures leveling up is good. He realizes he can steer now, so he tests it out by turning and going full speed. He enjoys the movement but then notices his health bar is low. He decides he isn't going to die like a klutz and stops to take a break. He hides behind a rock and is happy to see that resting recovers his HP. He decides to get moving again and starts thinking about his situation. He figures that since he is an egg, he has to hatch eventually and become a terrifying dragon. He wonders if this is an RPG world where he has to earn experience points to evolve. He spots a purple creature and wonders if he has to fight enemies. He uses his view stats skill and identifies the creature as a dark worm. He notices he has a title called Egg Eater and wonders if that means exactly what he thinks it means. The worm looks at him with hunger, confirming his fears that he is on the menu. The worm attacks him and he yells as he gets hit. He realizes the worm won't give up, so he can't just roll away. He wonders if he has to beat it up and checks its stats, realizing it has more HP than him. He figures he is doomed if they fight head-on, so he needs a strategy. The worm spits green slime on him and he gets an idea. He decides to ram into the worm and stick to it, then jump off a cliff with it. He tells the worm to follow him and drags it down. The impact kills the worm and he wonders if he won. He looks at the dead caterpillar and tells it not to push itself. He gets a notification that he gained 12 experience points, plus a bonus from his walking egg title. He confirms that beating things gives him XP, proving it is like a video game. He reaches level 5 and maxes out his level. The voice tells him all evolution requirements are fulfilled. He asks what maxed out means, and the voice asks if he wants to view the evolution tree. He agrees and sees 2 options, Baby Dragon and Little Dragon. He is confused by the names, so he asks for an explanation. The voice explains that a little dragon is a dwarf breed but still larger than a bear and uses fire breath, making it feared by adventurers. He asks about the other one, and the voice explains that a baby dragon has tender meat that is exquisite and pairs well with sauce. He is horrified by the culinary description. The voice adds that the baby dragon is not suited for battle but has great potential to evolve into many different species, though they usually get hunted down. He thinks the baby dragon sounds depressing and decides the little dragon is the safer choice. Suddenly, a mysterious voice tells him to grow strong and aim for the top. He is confused and asks if that is still the divine voice. He gets a notification that the divine voice skill has increased to level 2. He wonders if the voice changed because of the level up. He thinks about the goal to aim for the top and realizes that the baby dragon has more potential for evolution, implying the little dragon might hit a dead end. He decides he doesn't want any regrets and chooses to evolve into a baby dragon. A bright light engulfs him and he evolves. A screen tells him that due to the title Son of the Dragon King, his resistance skills are boosted. He obtains skills like Dragon Scale, Baby Breath, Whistle, and Nibble. He checks his stats and sees they went up, but his HP and MP didn't recover. He looks at the dead worm and realizes he is starving. His dragon instincts tell him to eat the worm to recover. He thinks it is gross but knows he needs protein to get stronger. He eats the worm and thinks it is vomitrocious. He goes to sleep and wakes up hoping it was all a dream and that he is human again, but he sees his reflection and realizes he is still a dragon. He accepts that he was reincarnated into an RPG world. He starts fighting more purple worms to gain XP. He wonders who he used to be and realizes he can't remember his gender or past life clearly. He continues to grind levels, defeating worms with his fire breath. He encounters a larger group of worms and defeats them, reaching level 20. He feels powerful and praises his walking egg title. He wakes up from a nap and sees his level has increased. He gets a notification that he received the Infighter title and the Dragon Punch skill. He tests it out by shooting a blast of yellow electricity into the sky. He drinks from a pond and gets a notification that he leveled up again, but he feels sick and dizzy from the water. He realizes reaching the top might be easier than he thought, but hates eating the gross worms. He decides to find other prey and spots a gray wolf. He checks its stats and sees it is level 6, which is lower than him. He gets attacked and nearly dies, gaining the poison resistance skill and leveling up his Klutz title. He realizes he shouldn't eat random mushrooms. He decides to hunt the wolf because he doesn't want to eat bugs forever. He initiates a fight with the wolf, breathing fire and using his agility. He acknowledges the wolf is bigger, but believes he can win. He uses Dragon Punch and defeats the wolf. He cooks the meat with his fire breath and is thrilled that it smells like barbecue. He eats it and thinks it is delicious, wishing he had pepper. He checks his level and sees he is level 20. He knows he can evolve again at level 25, but his leveling pace is slowing down. He reflects on how he is adapting to being a dragon, but feels lonely, having only the divine voice to talk to. He hears voices nearby and freezes. He realizes he can't understand the language but recognizes them as human voices. He hides behind a tree and sees 3 humans in armor, confirming it is a fantasy world. He worries that because he is a dragon, they might attack him, but he hopes his cuteness will save him. He assesses that he is stronger than them, but fears their numbers. He decides to launch Operation Friendship and reveals himself, acting like a cute pet. He rolls over and tries to look harmless. A man with long hair smiles, but then suddenly attacks him with a sword. He is terrified and realizes his cuteness didn't work. The man uses a magic ring to attack him, and he gets paralyzed. He realizes he messed up and thinks they are going to kill him. Suddenly, a girl with pink hair steps in and protects him. She spreads her arms to stop the men. He is confused why she is defending a monster. The girl uses healing magic on him. He feels the warmth and realizes she is saving his life. He is shocked that a human is helping a dragon. He sees she has almost no magic power left but is still healing him. He is touched by her kindness. The girl finishes healing him and tells him to stay still. He receives a notification that he obtained the Grisha language skill. He hopes he can understand her better soon. He sees her status screen and learns her name is Miria Miliania and she is an Earth human. He thinks she is nice but worries she will leave him once he is healed. He decides to act injured a little longer so he can stay with her. He gets the liar title for faking it. The girl drags him along by his tail or leg while the other men laugh. He thinks the divine voice is brutal for calling him a liar. As they walk, he gets the Greek language skill, which confuses him. Suddenly, a terrifying roar echoes through the forest. A giant red skull face appears in the sky. He freaks out and realizes a super strong monster is nearby. He hears the men screaming and knows they are dead. He looks at the giant monster, a little rock dragon, and sees its stats are way higher than his. He knows Myriad doesn't stand a chance. He urges her to run away. She is terrified and out of magic. He knows she is doomed. He struggles against the lingering paralysis. He tells himself to move. He decides he can't leave her to die. He breaks free from the paralysis and rushes back to help her. He yells her name in his mind. He checks the enemy stats again and sees it is a rank C monster with massive HP. He is scared but determined. He runs through the rain, thinking that if they fight together, maybe they can win. He charges toward the giant monster to save the girl who showed him kindness.